Hey, Loco sports fans. Welcome to a Tuesday night edition of the Loco Sports Lowdown. Justin Jarrett and Marcus Walsh with you. Wes needed a night off to deal with some stuff. So don't we all some of these nights? And you may know that our schedule has been a little sporadic at times just because sometimes we get into the evening and it's like, hey, are there two or three of us that have enough gas left in the tank or aren't busy doing something else who are available to get in here and run the ship and man the sandbox. And tonight was kind of touch and go. I'm pretty cooked, to be honest, but I have enough left in the tank, I think, to get through an hour of talking sports with you, Marcus. That shouldn't be a problem.
Awesome.
And we'll see if any friends pop in. I just sent the link over to our buddy Rob Benson. Maybe he'll pop in and share any basketball scores he has. We have a few from around the area. If you have some, drop them in the comments and we'll add them to our little document where we're tracking what's going on across the Loco. We'll also tell you about what went on last night. Kind of a sparse schedule, although you had your WHHI games of the week.
Yeah, I definitely was not ready for a Loco show last night because by the time I got back here to Bluffton, it was about a quarter till 11. Obviously, with the 6:15 starts at Hilton Head Prep, the guys' game, is going to start a little bit later than usual. So the guys' game ended up tipping off about 8. And of course, we got to unpack and everything. But it was great to be back. And it was not just a long night, but a long day. I was literally on Hilton Head from 8:30 until I got home at about 10:45 because Monday's my day at the front desk. And I was literally there all day until Larry picked me up. So yeah, it was a great day though. Hilton Head Prep, has a lot of intensity. Both the girls and the guys do. Hilton Head Prep played a lot better in the second half on the girls' side of things. They ended up going down though kind of decisively 43-24, and then the guys back and forth. That game went, it was 17-10 at the end of the first quarter, 36-26 at halftime, and then Bluffton started pulling away, and that was a 20-point output for Bluffton as they went 73-53. And I mean, they were just going up and down the floor, both guys' teams. I'm going to see Bluffton next week against Beaufort on next Tuesday. Going to have Joe Keith with us, and of course, Kevin Libby will be doing color, and we'll have a couple of friends stop by. One for the girls. I think we're looking at possibly talking to Sharon Brown. Of course, her granddaughter, Amira, formerly of Bluffton, now with Beaufort. And then got a couple of ideas for guys to talk to in the second quarter of the guys' game. But I'm really looking forward to that matchup there at Kirkland Court, one of the great environments for sure. And I've talked about this Bluffton girls, this Beaufort girls team. I think they're really strong, and I haven't even seen them in person yet. I'm going to see them against May River on Friday, the girls and the guys. But again, as far as last night goes, congrats to Hilton Head Prep, and they're always really supportive of what we do, and they always bring it. Sean Hardy and crew are amazing. The girls just didn't quite have enough, and the guys just couldn't outlast what is a really fast and very good Bluffton team.
Yeah. Absolutely. We had Bradley Gabriel on the Loco Hoops happy hour on Sunday. Good to talk with him, and we've had a good run of coaches. We had Matt Lynch from Salk, and then we had Coach Bennett from May River. Then we had Karen Floyd from JP2.
All great coaches.
And then had Coach Gabriel. And just it was funny to kind of juxtapose the way he talked about the way he coaches versus kind of the way Kyle Bennett coaches, which they're kind of opposites in a lot of ways, but they get along great. They're both, sicko ball heads. But philosophically, they're different. And It was kind of cool to hear that and talk about, kind of how that impacts the whole transfer portal thing and how kids go seeking programs that play a style that suits them and stuff like that. And how, there's two sides to that whole thing. It can be good because you can get kids in advantageous situations where they can really showcase their skills. But no, it was great talking.
Get out of hand real quickly, though.
No, it definitely can. And I think the guardrails they're putting in place are pretty good.
Yeah.
I think there's a way to go about it, but I don't fault parents who are thinking long term and are thinking about those kinds of things and being proactive about them at all.
Right.
Trying to put their kids in, I mean, if you're hopping from school to school every year, obviously that's an issue. But if you're just evaluating the situation and making the best decision for you in the moment, or for a long-term goal, then I have no issue with it.
Right.
So
And the
anyway,
main reason that I addressed that is because for the second quarter of the guys' game, we had Dave Adams on.
yeah,
He took Kevin's seat yesterday in the second quarter, and of course, Dave was very heavily involved at both Bluffton and Hilton Head Prep, and just a
right.
great guy to talk to. Worth of not just huge amount of knowledge, and always great to talk to him. And we addressed that, and certainly a few other things with both schools and beyond. Of course, he's doing still a bunch of stuff with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and so that was another highlight from the night over there at Hilton Head Prep as well, and a good premiere for us last night for 2026. Hard to believe because we started doing girls basketball in 19 in I think it was 2017 I think was the first year that we put it on. And Wayne Morris called me up. He said, I need a guy to do play by play for girls basketball. We're bringing it into the fold. You interested? I said, absolutely. And
Yeah, man.
working ever since with the hoops, and it's been
I'm
awesome.
watching women's sports. Uh, but no, good stuff on there. You can watch those games on WHHI. You can find them on the YouTube. WHHI is one of our all-star sponsors, along with our presenting sponsor and original sponsor, Mickelson Law Firm, our founding sponsor. That's what I've been calling them lately. It feels appropriate. They were the first, and they've been with us
Right.
since the beginning. They can help you with all your legal needs in downtown Bluffton. They're our official real estate closing attorney and presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. And then, of course, WHHI TV, Marcus's main gig over there. They're
Indeed.
moving from the south end off the island, sort of, to the barely off the island. Moss Creek wants to be Hilton Head Island, but it's across the bridge. You're moving across
Yeah.
the bridge center.
Yep.
I'm hearing it's quite a chaotic week over there, as you can expect. Moving
Yeah,
in
I still have yet to get over there, but I think I'm gonna maybe pop
hold
over
it.
there Friday. If I don't, I'll definitely be in there Monday. But I mean, Jeremy and Jessa for sure are literally going back and forth
Yeah.
from the south end to the bridge center, and then beyond. Like in the case of yesterday, of course, Jeremy had to go to Hilton Head Prep. So it's been wild and crazy, and things are getting packed up on the go, and everybody's like, what's going on? And all we really know is that we're starting there effectively on Monday. So it's going to be interesting. Just stay tuned and check us out, and we'll have definitely some growing pains, I'm sure, with some new things over at the new place. But looking forward to it. And I've said it before, and I will again, just because it's the only place that I've worked at with WHHI being the Courtyard building. Been there for like 30 years.
Yeah.
Going back to when WHHI first was brought into the fold here in this area, and that's definitely the 1990s. The Courtyard building's the only place that we've worked in that
Yeah.
exact location. It's definitely a little sentimental, and for some of us more than others, a little bit bittersweet. But looking forward to definitely seeing what the Bridge Center has to offer just on the other side of the bridge.
Well, the commute's going to be much better. You don't have to deal with that
No
Seapine
doubt.
Circle anymore, but you don't get to
Right.
drive across that beautiful bridge every morning either. That's kind of a gift
It's
to
it's
drive
true,
across the
but
bridge.
I can still definitely get to Hilton Head for a couple of
You
things
get
because
you get a little more sleep
I've
in the
got
morning.
friends, and I've got a here's a term for you youngins. I've got a Rolodex of
There
people that
you
I still know, certainly on the island. So I'm still not going to be a stranger to the beautiful Hilton Head Island for sure.
That makes two out of the last 3 days, because we didn't have a show last night. That Rolodex has been mentioned on the Loco Media Network because Rob Benson busted out Rolodex on Sunday night on the One Loco Hoops Happy Hour. He was
I
talking
love
about
it.
Gabriel's his wealth of his Rolodex of college contacts, college coaches, which he said he doesn't know if those are worth a darn anymore in this climate. Like it's not the way it used to be. It's not coaches calling up and saying, "Hey, take a look at this kid."
Yeah.
they already know who's out there and what they can do, and they've already marketed themselves and negotiated their deal and all that stuff. It's a different kind of world than it was not that long ago. But there's Max Araj. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
What's up, guys?
You here, so we're not so cropped. Welcome, Max Araj. We're just kind of getting rolling on a Tuesday night show. We got a lot to talk about. Just looking at how wild group chat was today. Because we had high school league appeals. I saw some of the results. I'll have to look up some of the others.
Some of the results for us will not be till tomorrow. That's what I saw.
Right. But like I saw one of the teams that tried to go from 4A to 2A, Fox Creek, was denied. Which, what do we think? Two projects? Yeah.
4A to 2A.
Most of them were denied. I only saw a couple that were approved, and they were 2A to 1A. And then we had Skiza alignment.
Yes. I got them here.
Yeah, the Skiza alignment league.
Set of alignment.
We had last night a bunch of wrestling. May River hammered Hilton Head 71-9.
Wow.
Boston beat Buford 35-20, I think, 45-20. 50-25. That's what it was. 15-25.
Yeah.
So that's starting to sort itself out. It looks like Bluffton and May River are kind of the cream of the crop. And then May River is the cream, like the real cream. So that's the wrestling. We got wrestling home tomorrow, Hardyville. Sand Sharks are on the road. We haven't talked about it on the lowdown yet, so we'll get into it a little bit later. But Kilminster hit another game winner, second of the week. He was the player of the week. Hit one on Wednesday at home, hit one on Saturday at Columbus State. So check that out. What else? What's happening over there, Maxie?
I mean, basketball season full swing over at Beaufort County Parks and Rec, just in full swing, and now we're getting to the point where I got to make decisions on who's going to be nominated to go try out for the All-Star teams this year. So getting into that time of the year, so it's quite busy. But I mean, apart from that, I mean, we're in full swing right now. I mean, it's just we got a lot going on now. A lot of basketball, a lot of wrestling as well. I mean, obviously those two buzzer beaters by Evan Kilminster, or the walk-off field goals by Evan Kilminster for USCB men's basketball. Of course, I was at the game last Wednesday against Flagler. Got to see that happen. Myself, Wes Kerr, and of course, Jeremy Ward and Rich Basirko on the call, which is an unusual combination there, but it worked out great. It sounded really good. And then I was actually watching that game on Saturday between Columbus State and USCB while I was working, and saw is that walk-off shot by Evan Kilminster to give USCB the 77-75 win, go 2-0, and now sit fourth place in the Peach Boat standings right now. So they're in a really good
half game back, right?
Yeah, half a game back of North Georgia. And guess who we play on Saturday? North Georgia at home. The 15th ranked team in the country as well. So the big game coming up on Saturday for USCB.
Big time.
But I do have the unofficial realignments in terms of football for skis with me. Quite interesting. Very interesting, actually.
When we say unofficial, what we really mean is
waiting on appeals.
They haven't officially been announced, but I guess proposed. Is that what you would call it?
Proposed, yes, proposed. But I think we're going to be looking at a few appeals throughout.
I wonder what the appeals process is.
A one-man committee? I don't know.
The committee.
The committee of people no one knows. So
we'll
see.
Absolutely.
But, a lot of interesting movement for football if this proposal becomes, official. A lot of movement that's honestly very interesting for us. It changes quite a few things for our area into some more separate regions instead of just 3 regions. We'll be looking at potentially 4 separate regions for football, which will be very interesting to see. Obviously, according to the proposal, sitting in 4A for football this next season, if this proposal becomes official, JP2 will be looking at potentially playing 4A football next year, which is interesting. From a program standpoint, I would have loved to have seen them in 3A a little longer, and they may appeal it because I think they can be really competitive this next season. With what we saw from them this past season, I really do think they can be really competitive at the 3A level. When you get to the 4A level, I mean, going along with them, moving up to 4A is Pinewood Prep. I mean, that alone is an issue right there. And more than likely, you're going to be in the same region as Pinewood Prep again if this proposal becomes official. But you're also going up against the likes of, Porter Gowd, Hammond, Lawrence Manning, who we've seen play this JB2 team before, Northwood, the defending state champions, that very, very solid football program. So it's just interesting to see JP2 basically sits at the bottom in terms of number of boys. They sit at the bottom of 4A, like the very bottom of 4A. So very, very interesting situation there. In terms of 3A, Hilton Head Christian Academy will stay in 3A. Moving up will be Hilton Head Prep to 3A. And guess what that means, fellas? The Prep Christian Academy rivalry becomes a region matchup again.
Yeah, it's truly back. That's great.
Hallelujah. Yeah. Glory days, man. I can't wait. If that stays how it is currently with this proposal, I can't wait for that. Honestly, it'd be, we saw it was a great game between those two this past season. I expect more of that again this coming season, this next fall. It's going to be great, and meaning that it has something more than just a rivalry now. Now this is a region matchup and a rivalry that has been going on for decades now, and to see it mean something, and we could potentially be seeing where this game could mean the likes of someone getting a home playoff game in the first round. Like we could be seeing that with these two teams in the same region. So very, very interesting there.
It's been boring when there were no stakes involved in that one for the last.
Yeah, I think the best days were when they were both in the same region, in the same division.
Right.
Well,
during the days of Tommy
remember
Lewis.
the year that Adams and them upset them, and it wasn't supposed to happen.
But I mean, back in the days when they were
that totally flipped the playoff season and messed everything up.
But I mean, look at all the great moments when they were both region rivals. From the 2007 season when they both faced each other in both the regular season and the state championship game against each other between
versus Serco.
Yeah. Paduzzi versus Lewis, like that, like what, those were the days when they were region matchups and could potentially play each other.
HHCA, and then he was crap, and
I mean, it was great, and I'm excited if this comes to be.
I would say
Jeremiah Spires. You remember Jeremiah Spires?
Yes, Jeremiah Spires.
Just real quick, because you guys are talking well before I got here. Especially with what happened this year between those two teams, and especially in that finale between the two that you and I were at, Max, I could not be more excited about this. Not to take the kind of stunting the growth of HHCA. Obviously, they had a tough year this year on the football field, but with the way that things are progressing, and hopefully they get back to where they've been in many of the past years, certainly since I've been here covering them for WHHI, and seeing even more the growth of what Hilton Head Prep has offered. That's going to be great if that does end up officially happening here soon, and they both get to 3A, because that's really what is needed for that area.
Yes, and Christian Academy and Prep, I think they got some with Pinewood Prep. If this holds out of the way, it gives Hilton Head Christian and Hilton Head Prep both better chances to make it through. Wilson Hall is still in 3A as of right now. I don't think that's going to change. They're going to be in 3A for this next proposal if it becomes official. But it takes Pinewood Prep out of the picture. If Pinewood Prep wasn't in the picture last season, I still think, Hilton Head Christian and Wilson Hall would have been those two teams to talk about potentially making it to a state championship game. Because I really think it came down to those four teams of Florence Christian, Wilson Hall, Pinewood Prep, and Hilton Head Christian, which was obviously the final four. And I think if you put Pinewood Prep out of that conversation, who would be the two teams to talk about? And I think Hilton Head Christian Academy, with how they finished out the season, was definitely in that conversation, despite not having advantages in terms of your size and physicality. I still think they're one of the most, one of the better well-coached teams in this area. So 3A is going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
2A is very interesting as well.
Rob Benson has requested that you read these in Foghorn Leghorn voice.
Foghorn Leghorn voice.
I say, boy.
In CISA 2A, we're going to have Colleton Prep, and we're going to have Dorchester Academy.
Yeah. And Patrick Henry. Good old Patrick Henry. The good old Patriots of Patrick Henry. I said Patriots, Patrick Henry.
Flip that.
Yeah, so 2A, Colleton Prep sits at the top of 2A alongside Williamsburg Academy. Shocker, they've moved up alongside Colleton Prep. So in terms of football, I think this is going to be an interesting one. PD Academy is also in 2A football. St. John's Christian in 2A football. Orangeburg Prep in 2A football. Patrick Henry in 2A football. Calhoun Academy in 2A football. And here's the one that I think has shocked us all. Cross Schools is in 2A football this next season if this proposal holds.
They got to appeal that, right? They can't go from 8.
You would think so, right?
No, no question.
They're not ready for it.
No.
I mean, it brings opportunities to the school, but they're not ready for it. They have one win over the last 2 seasons in 8-man football. I mean, they're just not ready for it.
A game for like 10 years or something. Like, they just no. Let's not get over our skis again.
Here's the other thing, because they have the teams for 8-man football as well on this list.
They do.
And Cross Schools isn't down there, which is very interesting. But the teams it says that want to play 8-man is Palmetto Christian, Cathedral, and the Kings Academy, but Cross Schools isn't on that list. I find that very interesting.
So my understanding is if they say that you have the numbers to be an 11-man classification.
I mean, they do have the numbers.
And you appeal to play 11-man, you're ineligible for the postseason in 8-man. If you appeal to play 8-man, you're ineligible. Postseason.
And here's the thing. I mean,
approval to play an 8-man schedule, but
if you look at the amount of boys in the 2A level, Cross School sits at the very bottom of 2A with 60 boys in the school.
They got to appeal that. They got to appeal that.
They got to appeal it.
They should at least be able to go to 1A, if not.
I mean, if it's 1A, sure. I don't.
I mean, they're still going to get trucked by some of those teams, but
being that Class A right now, as of now. Although we do know of one team that's appealing in this one. Class A would include Bethesda, Beaufort Academy, Lee Academy, Dillon Christian, Holly Hill, Dorchester, Carolina Academy, and Thomas Hayward.
I just want to give respect to Bethesda because, as you noted, they are appealing to 3A. From 1A to 3A. The opposite of what we're seeing in the high school league, where everybody's begging to move down.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that because I think Bethesda can compete at
like,
3A level.
We played 2A last year and nobody could touch us. Can we play 3A this year, please?
Yeah.
I mean, who was their closest game this year? They had a close one. Who was it?
Everybody almost. Williamsburg, maybe.
It was Williamsburg. This past season.
They trashed.
And that was their closest game. And they still beat Williamsburg. And we all saw how good that Williamsburg team was at the state championship game against Colleton Prep this year. I mean, and I don't hate the move. If this appeal holds, which I think if you're Skiza, I would say yes to it. Because when are you ever going to see another school say, yeah, we want to move up a division? And you just don't see it. And so I hope they do that, because then what will be really interesting is they will sit in a region with Hilton Head Christian and Hilton Head Prep. And I think that would be fantastic to have those two schools in a region together. I think would be really, really special. And
it would be JP2 at 3A with Christian and Prep. That would be
fantastic.
Great.
Didn't it used to be that though? It used
for a
to
minute,
be that.
That was the whole region for a few years.
That's what it used to be. Bring it back. I'm all for it, So that's 1A. Obviously, your typical eight-man teams: Jefferson Davis, Lawrence, Andrew Jackson, Newberry Academy, Richard Wynn, Wardlaw. I mean, they're all in there, and of course Palmetto Christian, who went down to 8-man last year. I guess they appealed to go to 8-man or whatever because they just didn't have enough players. Moved down there, so they're going to play probably 8-man football alongside Cathedral and the Kings Academy probably as well. So it'll be a bigger 8-man region if that becomes a reality. A bigger 8-man league, I guess, would be the thing.
Yep.
And then of course, all the other classifications are different based on the total number of kids, not the number of boys at the school.
Right.
So when you look at 4A, Hilton Head Christian actually sits middle of the pack in 4A, which is crazy to think about. And JP2 sits right above them in the middle of the pack, like side by side. JP2 has 261 and Hilton Head Christian with 252. I mean, like very very close.
Props to Skiza for actually releasing the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, they got the numbers
Honestly.
here. I mean, top of 4A, obviously Ben Lippen with 430, Porter Goud 415. Like you have all those teams like Hammond, Cardinal Newman, Heathwood Hall, some of those bigger schools. I mean, Trinity Collegiate is 4A as well. So I mean, like it's almost more of the same with all these things. Although there is one team that is intriguing me right now because apparently with the rest of the sports classifications, they would move to 4A, and that's Hilton Head Prep as of right now. They sit at the very bottom of 4A, but they would be a 4A school in terms of sports other than football and men's soccer if this classification holds, which means, again, they'd be in a region with Hilton Head Christian and JP2, which would be much easier on HACA and JP2 to have another team in their area, so they're not traveling nearly as much as they would be, without prep in that region. But very interesting. Although I do think if Hilton Head Prep continues to build that basketball program back up to what it used to be, I think it's going to be very interesting to see that. Across all sports for 3A, PD Academy. Believe it or not, for all other sports apart from football, Palmetto Christian sits atop of 3A with total number of students. So very interesting there.
Playing football, that's wild.
Yeah. Other schools in 3A will be PD Academy. Colin Prep will be in there as well. So they'll be competing for 3A sports across the board, apart from football and men's soccer. Orangeburg Prep will be in there, and Cross Schools will be 3A as well. Yeah, very bottom of 3A, only 119 students, but they will be a 3A school.
119 students is 3A?
Yes.
That is wild to me.
That is wild. It is crazy. 2A, let's see. Beaufort Academy will be in 2A.
Look at these 1A schools. They got like 40 people in them?
Who?
The 1As.
The 1As.
1As are pretty low. Yeah. Dorchester Academy, Beaufort Academy will be 2A. St. John's Christian will be 2A. Patrick Henry will be 2A. Any other schools of notice? Andrew Jackson Academy will be 2A. Lee Academy, Marlboro. I mean, there are a lot of schools in the 2A category. Conway Christian's in there as well. So interesting artifact there. And of course, 1A, Lawrence, Jefferson Davis, Thomas Hayward sit at the top of the 2A in terms of number of kids.
Thomas Hayward got
77.
77.
Yeah. Who else? Anyone else from our area?
That's crazy.
There's a school here with 6 kids, apparently.
What?
Yeah.
What school is that?
Thomas Hart Academy. I'm gonna look this up now. Where in God's name?
Classification ain't gonna put that in. Well, they can't play 8-man football. They can barely play basketball.
They can barely play basketball. Can't play baseball.
Why even bother listening? They ain't gonna have no teams. We got 5 children.
They got the chess club.
We got 6 children.
I mean, any other schools from?
I suppose if they all wanted to wrestle, you could almost win.
Yeah. Also, Holy Trinity will be, of course, 1A as well.
40?
37.
30. I almost said 37, bro. Man.
Yeah.
40.
So got all those schools there as well. I mean, the list is all here for all the schools.
Crazy.
I mean, that's a lot of movement for not just football, but all sports across the board. That's a lot of movement for us, and we'll be looking at a lot more, regions than we were before.
Goodness knows what the appeal process.
Thomas Hart could probably field a pretty good academic challenge team.
These are nuts.
Or chess,
One act
debate.
Can you imagine going to school?
One act plays. One act plays. That'd be great in that.
All right. Well, we don't have all the scores from tonight, but we do have some, so I'll run through them for you.
Okay.
Some girls hoops action. Colleton County beating Bluffton 52-34. Beaufort 59-31 over Bishop England. That was thought to be one of the bigger challengers in the region, and they took care of it.
Wow.
No kidding.
Haven't seen Seahawks Sharks scores yet, so if you have those, drop them in the notes. Norbridge is Edisto. Yeah, smoked them by 28.
Wow.
By the way, JP2 girls have lost 2 in a row. They lost to St. Andrews the other night, which was a stunner. They lost 57-55 tonight to Wilson Hall. So I don't think there's any doubt Beaufort's on top of our girls' power rankings now.
Yeah.
Right.
Wilson Hall, I will say though, Wilson Hall's men's and women's basketball teams have been playing really well this year.
But it was kind of splitting hairs between the two already, and I think there was the 9-1 that had us lean in JP2. But Beaufort has played a great schedule, and now they're rolling people. So
and like I said,
man, yeah.
Like I said at the outset, I'm gonna scout them against May River, both girls and guys, because out of those 4 teams, I've only seen 3/4 of the May River guys. That's it. So I'm gonna go and catch both those matchups in scouting duties on Friday, and then we've got Bluffton at Beaufort on Tuesday on WHHI. Yeah, I plan to have Jeff Riley meet me over there at Beaufort for the May River Beaufort games, and I want to introduce him to Javon because I think he could help Javon a lot.
That is a great call. That's a great call. Some other scores from tonight: Lake Marion girls edged Whale Branch 52-51. That's a tough game. Zaire Kennedy keeping us posted on those ones over there. Denmark blew out Hardyville 61-10 on the girls' side. And I mentioned Wilson Hall beating JP2. We're still missing a few scores over there. Bluffton boys kept it rolling 61-54 over Colleton County. Bishop England, Beaufort played tough. Bishop England beat them 73-62. Good effort from the Eagles, who seem to be rounding into form. They're very young, so you figured they'd get better as the season
very young.
And seem to be. Denmark Olar edged Hardyville 52-46.
Ooh.
First region loss for the Canes on the road in Denmark, so they still got to come back to our place.
High hopes, though.
But yeah, solid.
You gotta have high hopes for Hardyville the way they're playing.
Absolutely, yeah, they've been playing well. Coach Toomer, he's a real.
He's doing a great job.
He's got him going.
He's got him going in the right direction for sure.
We got to get him on the show.
Yeah,
got to get him on the show.
I mean, he's a legend. He's a state championship coach at Ridgeland with the girls.
Yes, he is.
Beaufort Academy boys won big, 80-53 over Andrew Jackson, and that's all I've tracked down this far. So, if you got anything else, hit us with it. Last night we told you about the WHHI games of the week. Bluffton sweeping Hilton Head Prep 43-24 in the girls' game, 75-53.
73-53. 20 points.
Got them by 20. All right. So that's kind of what's going on tonight. Yeah, is the basketball. We're still looking for a few scores. I'm sure Zaire will check in with a Whale Branch boys score here in a little bit. I'm getting clawed from under the table by
obviously we talked about the South Carolina High School League appeals tomorrow. None of the appeals for us were today. Tomorrow, Hilton Head and Beaufort's appeals will be heard by the South Carolina High School League Committee, and whether or not they will be approved, we yet to be seen. So should be interesting with those two, seeing that they are, of course, sitting at the very bottom of 4A. So it'll be interesting. We haven't talked about it, but I was kind of shocked that Colleton County didn't appeal. I was a little shocked by that.
Well, I mean, when it first came out, and I talked to Myers, he said, "Nah, We have no interest in moving into a region with Oceanside and Bishop England,
That's fair.
where we feel like there's
I would agree.
two apples in the barrel.
It's a hard spot for them to be in, isn't it? I mean, it really is.
It is, and they, more than Hilton Head, I think Hilton Head to some degree, but more than Hilton Head even, they just aren't equipped to compete with that. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
Those also different than the schools down here. Bishop England is close enough to take their kids. And
and I mean,
their kids are going to Somerville already.
Yeah.
So I just don't think they want to invite that.
And Somerville kids are going to Oceanside.
Be in the Low Country region down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Somerville kids go to Oceanside. The Colleton kids go to Somerville. Woodland kids everybody goes to Somerville. And then the ones who don't catch Somerville's eye.
I think it was one of Somerville's top receivers left Somerville and is heading over to Oceanside. Committed to Oceanside for at least the next year or so.
Yeah.
So interesting.
So I was not that surprised. I know that his initial reaction was no, we don't want any part of that.
Right.
And then I know that that Hilton Head and Beaufort, of course, were kind of talking about it and brought them into the conversation. And I guess it came out that they didn't want to do that. I just got a text from Robbie. May River girls beat Hilton Head, but the Hilton Head boys, after an 0-2 start to region play, hand May River its first loss of the season. According to our sources, we have not confirmed a final score yet. We're told that Hilton Head boys beat May River tonight.
Wow.
So, let us know if there's confirmation of that.
I saw something. I saw someone was going to beat May River. I thought at some point. I know they're really. I know we've talked about how good they are, but I just thought with this region, with how many good teams that are in this region, someone's going to catch May River on a bad night. All it
was going to take was a night where the threes just didn't go.
Right.
And that's going to happen a time or two, and
no question.
Now I'm wondering what the score was. Yeah, that's now what
we all are. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. But back to the appeals. The only two that it looks like it was 60-56 with 12 seconds left. So it was a close game, back and forth game. It sounds like.
Was that at May River or was that at Hilton Head?
That would have been at May River because we've got the games at Hilton Head February 3rd on WHHI TV.
Wow.
So anyway, the appeals heard today. Christchurch, Eastside, Brooklyn, Casey, Gray Collegiate, Fox Creek, Greenville Technical Charter, Legacy Early College, Bridges Prep, Charleston Charter for Math and Science, James Island, Lucy Beckham, Loris,
James Island,
Central, all applied to go down. Central and Charleston Math and Science were both approved to go from 2A to 1A. Everybody else, they said, nah, we're good. Greenville Technical Charter wanted to go from 4A to 2A or 3A. So did Fox Creek. And they just said, nah, you can stay.
No. I find it funny that James Island decided to appeal to go to 4A. I thought they were competing pretty well across all sports at the 5A level. I mean, look, their football team made it to the 5A semifinals. Their baseball team won a state championship.
I hope they actually laughed when they heard James Island's appeal. I hope they're like, what? Are you out of your mind?
Dude, they're like, and they're not even towards the bottom of 5A. They're one of the top 15 largest schools in 5A. It's just ridiculous. I don't understand. I mean, their sports across the board have been competing well at the 5A level for the last couple of years. I just don't understand it.
No, it's crazy. Sorry, I got the yawns.
Max Preps does not have either Hilton Head May River score for girls or boys.
Yeah,
at the moment.
I'm sure it's not going to come until after we get done.
Yeah, but somebody has it.
Somebody will. Somebody will post it.
The socials.
Yeah,
I'm refreshing the socials as we speak. Try to see what we can find, but we're also getting long in the tooth. Let's hear from some sponsors. We got Hudson Seafood House on the docks, presenting sponsor of Under the Bus. We had a new episode tonight. I got to run point. That's why I'm getting a little tired here. Had to play Bob Stevens tonight.
you're going to be doing that for about the next 3 or 4
2 weeks.
weeks.
Yeah, and
Bob's be back, I think, the second week of
in an
February.
undisclosed location. That's what we've been saying.
Get me on the show.
Yes.
I'll have some fun with them.
Internationally, you may get to produce next week if you want to. But no, anyway, Hudson Seafood House on the Docks. That's what I was talking about. Great place for seafood sunsets and cocktails on Hilton Head Island. Check out beautiful Skull Creek and get that po' boy Andrews style, says Butch Mullis, and that man knows food. So check out Hudson's. Also, Twinge and Twombly are personal injury lawyers in Beaufort with the funny name, but they provide remarkable service at Twinge and Twombly. And of course, Coach Barron from HHI Windows and Doors. He hung up his whistle at Hilton Head Prep. Now he's focused on a new kind of screens, improving your view of the low country at HHI Windows and Doors. So you know, what else were we going to get into tonight, boys? I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden. I think on rest of the week, starting with tomorrow night, Sand Sharks on the road at Georgia Southwestern.
That should be a tough.
They played a tough game on Saturday. They lost by 4 to number 19 Columbus State, but they're still right in the conference standings. And the guys, as we mentioned earlier, are back within a half game, and it's really everybody beating up on everybody at the top of the standings. So we go to GSW. Tomorrow night, long trip out to Americus, but we'll see if they can get 2 scoops of Sand Shark wins. And Evan Kilminster had 2 scoops of game winners this week. He hit the buzzer beater against Flagler on Wednesday at home, and then Saturday at Columbus State, 1 second left.
By the way,
they got the inbound and put up threw up a prayer that went off the rim. By the way, it was scary.
Yeah, it was scary. By the way, that's obviously Evan Kilminster's 3rd game winner on Saturday of the season. Crazy. What a steal he has been for USCB. What a pickup from, College of Charleston. He's been fantastic. The other thing I was going to say is, obviously a tough schedule coming up this week for both the men's and women's teams. Georgia Southwestern's a solid women's program, and the men's program has been pretty good this year for GSW. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they play against those 2 teams. And then, of course, like we said, coming up on the weekend, a really big matchup for both the men's and the women's. North Georgia, who, on the women's team, we know how good the women's team can be. And, we also know how good the men's team can be. Yeah.
We snuck them once.
We did. Maybe we can do it again on Saturday afternoon. It should be really fun. So I'm very excited to hopefully get out for the game for the men's game, at least on Saturday afternoon, watch some really good basketball. Again, I think this is some of the best basketball USCB has played this season, if I'm being completely honest, so far over the last week or so. Just with finally being, healthy to a certain degree. I mean, like we saw what it was like before Christmas break, where illness was just that illness that wiped out basically the entire team at one point. And having only, what was it, like 8 or 9 players or something like that for a couple games, like just didn't really help.
Well, now they got Karan Anderson back too, and he's putting up numbers.
Karan Anderson's back. The one player I'm hoping is returning soon is Kevon Price, who was out for those 2 games. Without him, and you still got wins over a really good Flagler team and a very good Columbus State team, and getting those wins without Kevon Price, I can't wait to see when he comes back what this team can really do. And who knows, maybe he's back for the game on Saturday. I hope.
Here's the first Kilminster buzzer beater.
Yeah, crazy.
Bam. By the way, I watched this in my classroom the next day, and I go, man, that one kid right there with the hat on backwards, that looks like Brady Satcha.
He was there.
He was there. Columbia. Why would he be there? He texts me the next a little bit later that day. There he is, and he says, "Went to my first USCB basketball game last night. Needless to say, it didn't disappoint." I was like, "Bro, I thought that was you."
Yeah. I forgot to tell you.
Backwards, I was like, "That kid looks just like Brady."
I forgot to tell you. Brady came up to me and we were talking during halftime. We were just talking about it.
Brady. And then here we go.
This one here.
We're gonna get the tying bucket here on a crazy tip in.
Oh, crazy!
And they've got 30.
Here we go. I've watched this at least a dozen times already.
Yeah.
It's just
And you
doesn't.
know this man's just got ice in his veins. I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
he's so cool. And the greatest part about him is he's a pass first point guard. I mean, really, he's a pass
You know what
first
they?
point guard.
You
But
know what they
not when
call
the
him
game's
though?
on the line. That man's calling his number, and he is not giving it up. Ball gets knocked
Look
away.
at him.
Back.
He's going around shooting.
Boom. Boom. Bang.
Bang.
But then
God,
they
what a shot.
almost. They just dang near. They take like 17 timeouts now. So
And you know, they were calling him on the broadcast Kill Minister.
Kill Minister.
Might as well call him that
Kill
from now on.
Minister.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is the Kill Minister.
Oh, I'm calling him the Minister of Death.
The Minister of Death. Yes, I love that. That's great. I
He's the
love
Kill
that
Minister.
so much.
Here we go. Look at this, though. This is kind of crazy.
Yeah, this was crazy.
That was way too much time. But that hit
my
the rim.
gosh.
That hit the rim.
Wow.
That hit the rim square. What a game.
But I mean, it puts them in a really good spot right now. And the way they're playing,
yeah,
any team should be scared of them right now,
Oh, yeah.
honestly.
Nobody wants to play them, that's for sure.
But I mean, if they were playing like this and weren't dealing with injuries and health problems before the break, could you imagine what their record would be right now? You know, if they were playing like
they're
this?
11-4, they might be 13-2. You know, like it wouldn't be that
Well,
much.
with a better record and maybe higher up in the you know the PBC standings, like I you know, but
let them lurk.
Right. But you know, the thing I said was, you know, every time we saw them lose and we were just like, man, it's just injuries and the health. I was like, I'm not worried.
Nah,
I'm not worried. I know what this team can do when they're healthy. And when they came back from the break, look what they have done since, you know, since the break. You know, they've been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
3 in a row, 2 buzzer beaters from Kilminster, the Minister of Death. He had an average of 15 points, 9.5 boards, 5 assists.
Player of the week.
Steals this week, got Peach Belt Conference Player of the Week.
Yeah.
He played 40 minutes against Flagler. It went overtime, so he did sit for 5. Made 5 field goals, including the tying basket in regulation to force overtime and the game winner at the buzzer. Had 18 points, 14 boards, and 5 assists. And then at Columbus State, he played 30 minutes, scored 12 points on 4 made field goals, added 5 rebounds and 5 assists. And for the second straight game, as you saw, he drilled the game winner for a 77-75 win. So 2 big games this week for the Sand Sharks, including home against North Georgia on Saturday. Also, USCB news I saw on the track and field. They went to the Gamecock opener, the indoor opener. Had 9 Sand Sharks with top 10 finishes up in Columbia. So we don't give nearly enough love to the track and or field.
They do great work.
I mean, great sport, great athletes, great opportunity for kids who maybe, you know, maybe track was your secondary sport because you were a hooper or you were a football player or whatever, and it doesn't happen for you to go play that sport in college. Let me tell you, there's a whole bunch of track coaches who are begging for people to come on their team, and you can earn a scholarship because it is a numbers game in track, and the more points you can amass, the better you do as a team. So they are looking for people who are athletes who want to be trained to specialize, and there's an opportunity there. But
there's other
Mitchell with a great finish for the Sand Sharks. Here we go. Top 10s, Ja'Cory Herring in the 400, Zachariah Sellers also in the 400, Drake Edmonds in the 3,000 meters, top 10, a high jump, 8th place for Channing Robinson, Sam Mitchell had himself a day. He was 18th in the 60-meter dash. I don't know why we talk about that, but he was top 5 in the long jump.
Wow.
And that might be typo, the 18th, because why would they lead with 18th when we got top 5s in here? That didn't make sense.
Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah, that's weird.
And the pole vault. I got so much respect for a pole vaulter. Apparently they got a couple of them because Aiden O'Neill was top 10 with 3rd place. And Ethan Cockane Cocaine, Cockaine, cocaine,
Cocaine.
cocaine,
I doubt it's cocaine,
Uh,
but you never know.
I
You never know.
I
cocaine,
have no idea.
cocaine. I don't know, cocaine.
I knew someone with the
You got
last
sixth
name.
place.
Last name was Coke, spelled Koch. So I
Yeah,
mean,
I've
hey, you
seen
never
that one.
know.
Right.
Never
seen
know.
that.
But the other great
Oh,
exciting
Jason
news.
Jose also Hilton Head alum.
Oh
50th
yeah,
8th row, 13th in the shot put. Good job, Jason.
nice. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Other news
Tough.
from USCB is it's crazy to think about, but we are less than 20 days away from the start of baseball and softball season at USCB, y'all. Less than 20 days away. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited for the
Wow.
softball program
That's
this year.
crazy. That's crazy to think about.
Baseball. By the way, they showed up with their new jerseys on their social media accounts. I'm sure
Oh,
you guys saw
did you
them.
see the Crocs?
Yeah, man.
Those are
Dude, they're
sick.
great. They're sick.
I mean,
Those
they're not
those
Crocs.
cream
They got
Check
jerseys.
those out.
the shoes, but they're cool.
Do you see those cream jerseys that they have for softball and baseball? They look clean.
They do.
So clean. And can I just say I still want to get one of those hats. One
Me
of those
too.
USCB hats with the palmetto tree as the the bat
Oh,
with
yeah.
the
Yeah, it's
I want
nice.
one of those. I want one of those so bad.
Agreed.
But yeah, it's exciting to think that we are just a few weeks away from the start of baseball and softball season at the college level here in the area. Crazy to think about.
That's
Speaking of
wild.
USCB, here's something pretty cool. I just saw that they're doing an event trying to bring USCB athletics alumni back together. They're
Yes,
going
I
to have a
saw
social
that.
at Southern Barrel on January 28th, 6 to 8, and just try to bring as many athletes as possible back and reconnect with them. So that's cool. I may have to pop out there and see some more friends.
Show them the project they're working on. And that project
Sure.
that will bring some really great sports facilities to the
Amen.
campus.
They're trying to raise some money and do some
Yeah.
friend giving, some friend
Yep.
raising. as
Yeah,
they
man.
say.
And having those types of alumni events in this area is just huge.
Yep.
Obviously with USCB, but I go back to 2013, and to my knowledge, it was the only one that my alma mater's ever done here since I graduated, and that was Ashland University meeting at Truffles. And sure enough, I went to it, saw a bunch of folks, and it's just amazing to see
Yeah.
the connection that we have in this area. So good on USCB for doing that, especially for those athletes. I've covered quite a bit of USCB action in various sports over the last few years, and those are some great kids, really hardworking young men and women for sure, and
And that's
certainly the coaches and teachers and folks alike, professors and
I
whatnot.
mean, and as an alumni as well, you can't not be more excited about USCB athletics right now with where they're
Yep.
at as a whole. Like this is exciting times. You're finally fully fledged NCAA members at the Division II level. I mean, it has. I don't know of a time where USCB athletics has been more exciting than it is right now, as a whole, because of the future that they have here at the NCAA Division II level. It's gonna be. I mean, yeah, it's really great. It's a really great thing, and honestly, I can't think of a time where I've been more excited about USCB athletics as a whole. And I've been around here for almost 25 years now, and this is probably the most excited I've ever been about what the future holds for USCB athletics. Not just
for sure.
being NCAA Division II members, but the projects they are working on to improve the facilities here at the USCB Bluffton campus. Obviously, with that brand new arena that we have talked about before that they plan on building, along with baseball and softball fields on campus, which is going to be really fun and really exciting for the future of those programs.
And the word on the street is 3 sports on the horizon would be all women volleyball, flag football, and women's wrestling.
Ooh,
Okay.
flag football. Yes, wrestling.
That's what I've been told, that's the short list.
Flag football, please. I want flag football at the college level here. That would be fun to
How
watch.
dope would that be? Girls flag football, women's flag football.
I'm down
And
with
also these dope threads. Not to jump on
Hey, now.
your thing here, Max, with the uni watch, but
Please do.
Like them.
Those.
That is so clean. Just
God, those look so good.
oh, that one is just beautiful.
That is so beautiful. I'm so down for it. So down for it. By the way, first year head coach for USCB as well. What was it? Lewis.
Brian,
Lewis?
Brian
Yeah.
Lewis. Yeah, that's
Brian
it.
Lewis. Yeah.
That
Sorry,
one.
Brian. We were trying to think of there.
That's clean.
God, those look good.
The baby blues.
Shout out because those are Rawlings jerseys as well. Shout out to Rawlings because those are beautiful.
They are clean as can be. All right. Well, shout out to some more sponsors. If I can even remember who our sponsors are anymore, I'm so tired at this point. Shout out to Reverence Wrestling Club, our official wrestling sponsor and presenting sponsor of the Loco Grind. The great place to go if you want to take your skills on the mat to the next level. Get to Reverence, especially on Sundays. Open mat 11 to 12:30, just $15, even if you're not a member, to get on the mat and get better at Reverence Wrestling Club. And Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. Shout out to Jay, who also helps me with rides home from wrestling practice sometimes when I can't get there in time to get my kid. So appreciate Jay's Barbershop. I told him, every time he gives me a ride home, that we'll bump up that sponsorship a little bit. So
there you go.
We'll scratch each other's backs, right? Parting thoughts, fellas. We're closing in on an hour. We've had a nice, robust little show. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I'll kick it off, and we talk about this guy a lot. I have to give some kudos and some major props, and hopefully something comes out of this with Jeff Riley. And I've got to give him some major props. He called me on Friday, and he happened to mention that he was I believe he was by the Beaufort Airport. And he had happened to mention that there was a plane that landed in the marsh there. Not sure what exactly happened, but he said to me, he was like, "If I send you this picture, can you send it to some of the media outlets in the area and that type of thing?" And I thought about it for about a minute and a half, and I said, "Jeff, if you don't mind me asking, where are you right now?" He said, "I'm right by the airport." And I said, "You've got this video that you took on your phone?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "How about you turn around, go back, and try to talk to somebody yourself and try to make a story? If you want the story done, sometimes you've got to do it."
Yeah.
And he wanted me to contact, some of the folks that I know with contacts.
Don't call the journalist.
I said, no, be the journalist, be the reporter, do it yourself. If you've got the phone, you've got the footage, you're just so close, just turn around and do it. and he was like, you think somebody will do it? I said, I can't. I use this line all the time. It got me to where I am today. I said, I can't promise anything, but if you don't at least try, it's an automatic no.
Yeah.
So I said, go back and try to talk to somebody, whomever it might be.
Yeah.
Break down some doors if you have to. I didn't say that, but
hey, you in charge here? What's going on?
And son of a gun, he texts me or he calls me back like 20 minutes later. He says, "I've got an interview with John Rembold." I said, "There you go.
Clip
there
that.
You go.
Clip that. Clip it.
Boom.
That is unbelievable.
Bang.
I love it.
And he had an interview with John.
Clip it
on camera. On camera.
I hope. And he said, they're going to know more on Monday about what exactly happened. I said, after you get out of school at Hardyville, you better head back and follow up on this thing. Yeah. I texted him this morning. I don't know if he had a chance to do it, but I sure as heck hope so, because this has a chance to be his break.
Yeah.
But I talked to Kevin afterwards, and he's like, "Really? He was able to do that?" I said, "Yeah, because he needed the nudge." And
give him the freaking nudge. Yeah.
Give that man an idea, and you will get a result.
I've been trying.
Give him the idea and just watch him go.
Let him go.
Let him go. Let him do his thing.
I love
so.
it.
kudos to Jeff. I really hope he was able to get a follow up with John or anybody else that was there. I'm really, really proud of him because
Yeah.
he could have easily just, and I'm not saying that I've had experience like this with him, but he could have said, "Nah, I'm going to give this to you. Why don't you do it for me?"
Exactly.
He said, "No." He literally asked. He said, "I can do that." I said, "At least give it a shot," and he did. We'll see
Awesome.
what comes out of it. Even if it's so he had the photo, even if it's that for a headline, like for BCTV or us at WHHI or wherever, he would get, major kudos just for getting a picture for a headline on television.
Amen. Absolutely.
Any little bit helps.
Good
Way
stuff.
to go, JR.
Good stuff. Max, what do you got, buddy?
Well, first of all, I want to shout out my youth basketball team this winter. We've gotten our season going. We unfortunately have started 0-3 on the year. We've had a rough time getting through the second half of our basketball games, but I just want to say call out my players, Alex, Henry, Cameron, Montez, Ford, Anthony, Theo, oh God, Zayden. There's one other kid, Jax. I want to call them all out and say, y'all have been fighting really hard. We've come a long way since the start of practices, and I'm very excited to see us try to get a win at hopefully within the next couple weeks or so. I think we're getting there, but it's so funny because I look at all the other teams. I'm like, man, they have all these kids who can really play this game, and the thing for me is my situation's different in this league is that I have a lot of good players, but I don't have like a great player. I have a lot of good players who can play well together. So I'm trying to get them there, and I think we're going to get them there soon. But I want to shout out all those players after what was a pretty rough loss tonight. Lost 25-8 or something like that. Just a hard game tonight, but they're yeah. Well, I think and that's the funniest thing is I think of us as like the misfits. We're just that team that just can't seem to be able to.
Players. Yeah.
We just have our disadvantages, but I think we can utilize those and make them and turn them into advantages. So I think we're getting there.
It's having fun, and are they getting better?
It's having fun, but I still want to get a win. I'm all about winning games,
Of course.
So, but I want to shout them out.
Fun than losing.
Well, I want to shout them out and say, look, you guys are doing a fantastic job, and I'm really proud of them right now. They've been playing some really hard basketball, just hasn't been able to get to a win yet, but we're getting there. So that's the first one. Second one is obviously I think a lot of us saw today Mike Tomlin has stepped down as the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers after 19 seasons. Think about this.
Wow.
When he became head coach, the iPhone had not been released yet. That is crazy to think about. And now
That's right.
he may very well be on the job market. That or he's going to take a year off, collect his thoughts,
I could see him taking a year off easily. I could see him
I think we all
in a studio. Yeah.
Either he wants to take a year off.
NBC or CBS.
Yeah. But start
here's the thing. Go to the studio for a year and then survey the situation and then go get the one you want. Right.
But you do know. But here's the thing. A lot of teams have probably called him within the first 5 seconds of him stepping down, because he is the biggest and one of the most reliable coaches in the NFL, period.
Well, if you're in on Harbaugh, you got to be in on him too.
You got to be in on Harbaugh.
No doubt.
Only one person's hiring Harbaugh, and if you're not that person, you want to be the one that gets Tomlin.
You get Tomlin.
How crazy is it to say that both John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin
I still think they should do a Parent Trap thing and just switch.
That'd be interesting.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
It would be delicious. Are you kidding me? Tomlin with Baltimore,
that'd be very interesting.
Twice a year, maybe 3.
That
would be incredible.
That would be fantastic.
Delicious.
But it's going to be interesting to see if he decides to take a year off or decides to get a fresh start at a new team. We'll see what happens. Obviously, phone calls have been going to him already. We all know that.
He'll do the interview circuit. He'll satisfy the Rooney Rule for a lot of people,
right? And make a decision.
And then he'll decide whether he likes what's under box number 1
Well,
or he wants to wait and see what's behind box number 2 next
and
year. After he wins
I'm sure a
studio,
lot of the teams
$30
that are,
million or whatever they pay.
and I'm sure a lot of the teams that are looking for a new head coach, they're going to look at him. You know, obviously they're looking at Harbaugh already, but they're going to look at him. The Atlanta Falcons, the New York Giants are going to be looking at him. The Cleveland Browns will be looking at him.
Be rolling out the red carpet for him.
Yeah.
Yes,
Giants should be rolling out
And
the red carpet for about
if not
anybody.
already, they're
Anyone
pulling out
wants
the red.
to
But they're pulling out the red carpet for Harbaugh already.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah,
they're
I
at
think
that
Harbaugh's
because
going
these
to
are the
Atlanta.
two. But these are the two biggest coaches,
Yeah.
coaching names that have been on the market at the same time for the first time, and Lord only knows how long in the NFL.
Well, I mean, think about it. Like if going into the season, if you were making a list of the best head coaches in football, you no matter how long
these
your
two
list
on the
is,
list.
those guys are on the list.
Yeah.
And so to think that they're both on the market at the same time for after 2 decades almost with
Crazy.
their franchises is insane.
Yeah, Harbaugh 18 years, Tomlin 19 years. I mean,
Well,
like this.
What a coup for anybody who happens to have an opening right now. That these
yeah,
fall into your lap and you get to hire
Falcons,
them.
baby, do your job. Come on.
The Dolphins are going to go hard at Tomlin too, though. You know.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
I know.
Come on down to South Beach, chill out for a while.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, he'd be nice there. There's a lot of good landing spots out there. And then
I know.
I'm not sure the Packers aren't going to can LaFleur in the next year.
I think that's.
I thought they would have already done it by now, and that's my thing. I would have thought they would have done it by now already.
Yeah, I think Tomlin might be the final shoe that makes them go, you know what? Now we got 2 real good shots at getting a good one. But I don't know.
Yep.
I heard a stat the other day that apparently NFL owners are enamored with, and that is that all with very few exceptions, any coach who's won a Super Bowl won one within their first 6 years with the franchise they were going to win with. It's not like you
sounds about right, yeah,
9 or something.
How many years has LaFleur been at it?
Andy Reid was one of the few exceptions, but LaFleur's been there like 7 years, and I wonder if they're gonna just move on from him.
I mean, it's been talked about. I mean, but especially after how they lost to the Chicago Bears this past week, you have to. At that point, I think everyone was asking, is he going to get canned for this one? And it may. I mean, it's still an open door right now. I'm shocked that if they were going to make a decision, I'm shocked they haven't made it already.
Yeah.
So interesting thing right there. But if that door opens, that's a high value target for any coach that's in the coaching carousel right now.
Yeah,
100%.
One person who's probably in the Schuylkill River is the offensive coordinator from Philadelphia.
Yes,
he's probably at the bottom of the Schuylkill River with concrete.
God.
I don't think they like him there. Well, here's a parting thought for you. We talked transfer portal earlier and how it can be a good thing. It can also absolutely be ridiculous. And I think we're going to have to put some upper limits on how many years you can be in college and have eligibility.
Because this is who I think it is.
Yes, Dave Adams mentioned that yesterday to me.
Yes, Finley.
Georgia State quarterback TJ Finley transferring. He's committed to Incarnate Word. I'm sorry, there was a typo in the post. Finley has previously played for LSU, Auburn, Texas State, Tulane, Western Kentucky, and Georgia State. This will be his 7th school. He has thrown for 7,372 yards with 43 touchdowns and 27 interceptions. Sir, it's been fun, but you don't get to be in college anymore. It's been too long.
He's going to be damn near 30 by the time he's done. I mean, seriously.
We all want to stay in college for 7 or 8 years, but that's
what
not
degree is he going for?
What's that?
What degree is he going for?
I don't know, but apparently he ain't got it yet.
Oh my!
That's a great question. I wonder how many of his credits have transferred all the way from LSU to Incarnate Word. Probably lost
unbelievable.
God, I mean, because I saw that a few weeks ago that he was hitting the transfer portal.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
Still, I
not all
think
those
it's
places, buddy.
I think it's absolutely stupid that we allow this. You know, it's funny
It
because
is.
he's now transferring to what is it, his 7th, 8th school, something like that. And
7th, 6th,
here's the
7th.
thing:
Unreal.
Trinidad Chambliss asked to gain another year of eligibility to come back and play at Ole Miss, and they denied him.
Yeah.
And yet, you're going to
Good for
allow a
them.
player to transfer to 7 different schools in the span of 7 years.
I don't even
Basically.
understand how he has eligibility left. It
I
doesn't.
don't get it. I don't get it. There's no way you guys have eligibility
The
left at this
the
point.
COVID year is out of
At
the
this
system
point,
now, isn't it? Like, what
yeah,
do we
but at
do?
this point, screw it. He's gone after his bachelor's, his master's. He must be going after his
He
doctorate
should
at
have a
this point.
freaking PhD by now. He's been at
That's exactly my point.
Wow.
That's my point. Like,
So,
what are we doing? You know,
anyway,
And
get
it's
off
funny,
my
but
lawn.
actually, on top of that, I also saw ESPN came out with a report from the College Sports Commission regarding NIL deals, and the College Sports Commission said, "Whoa, we have cracked down. We have denied 500 NIL deals worth $15 million." And I'm like, really? I mean, that's great and all, but it's $15 million. You know, Ty Simpson was asked to come back to Alabama, and Alabama offered him $5 million to come back and play football next season, and he instead declared to go to the NFL draft. Like, that's great and all. You're denying NIL deals, but it's still the Wild West out there, and you still haven't cracked it down.
They offered me $5 million to go play another year in college.
I'm all for it.
I'd take that.
I'll take it. I won't. I don't hate the NILs, but I also don't love them either. Like, there are good sides and there are bad sides to it, but it's still the Wild West.
I think it's okay to be in favor of the concept and think it's the right thing to do and be absolutely appalled at the implementation and the lack of regulation. And I mean, it's the proliferation, just unstopped proliferation of this is crazy. And
it's SMU. It's basically the 1980s SMU on steroids. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah,
that is what it is.
Cleveland State's go down hard for all of this.
Mark Cuban, a University of Indiana alumni, has been putting in millions of dollars towards.
And we're literally seeing that. Yes, you can very much buy a championship. Not that that's all it takes. Like, you can invest money or not.
Granted,
if you invest enough money wisely, you will win the championship.
But I would say this: Indiana over the last couple seasons, what they've done differently is they're not bringing in the best guys. Like, they're bringing in kids who can make a difference to their program and actually help.
What they're doing. Yeah.
I mean, what they're doing is the right way.
Type of kid. Yeah. No, I agree. Look, Signetti is kind of a jerk. I think by design. Like,
he's a great jerk.
It's a feature, not a bug. But God, I just respect him so much.
The movies that come out on Netflix and HBO Max for him.
I mean, the Google Me thing was just epic. It was so good because they just kept asking him, like, well, but it's Indiana. How are you gonna win here? How are you gonna win here? And he goes, look, I win. Google me. Like, won everywhere. I'm gonna do the same things I've done. If it doesn't work here, then it doesn't work here. But it works.
I mean, it works.
Yeah.
I mean, watch what he did at JMU. I mean, like, he did an incredible job at James Madison before he came over to Indiana.
Because they're up 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter and the third string's in there, and he's grinding his teeth and, getting on somebody's ass because they didn't do something exactly right. And that's what it takes to run that kind of program.
People called Kirk Signetti before he came to Indiana as the forgotten acolyte of Nick Saban. I mean, that is exactly what he is, though.
Yes,
he is Nick Saban,
one of the 4.
Nick Saban of the modern transfer portal college football era. I mean, that's what he is. He is all business.
Yeah,
and he does it in such an economical way that it's absolutely extremely fun to watch.
Yeah, he's brilliant, and Nando's corny and funny, and I'm here for it.
I found this so funny because I saw on social media today there was a former Jets scout who said that Fernando at best was a 4th round pick, and I was like, You can't ever trust a Jets scout, can you? Seriously, though.
Just like the Jets.
Right.
I don't know. It's hard to deny what he's been able to do.
I think he's a first
He's so
rounder.
heady. He's so smart.
I agree.
He's
I
a
think
first
he is.
rounder.
I think he is too. I mean,
I think he's a top 5 pick,
Well,
if I'm being completely honest.
the experts had Dante Moore ranked as the #1 pro quarterback prospect going into that
Look what
game.
he did. I
He
mean,
could handle that pass rush. So
yeah.
I don't know. The experts, but I
Expert.
guess we're the experts around here, so we're making fun of ourselves too because we don't know what we're
Right.
doing. We just calling it like we see it. Don't mean we
That's
see
right.
it.
We
right.
call it like we see it.
But,
That's how it is.
All right. Well, good stuff, boys. Had fun. We'll take tomorrow night off, and we'll plan on convening again Thursday night for another Loco Sports Lowdown. So thanks to all of our sponsors. Thanks to all of you for showing up to listen or watch. We missed Wes tonight, but I'm sure he'll be back on Thursday. And for Marcus Walsh and Max Araj, I'm Justin Jarrett. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, go Loco.